All right, welcome to Road to 9th edition for the Astra Militarum Imperial Guard. So this is part 8, and we're going to go through the troops and how I've changed any data sheets and added abilities to them, as well as potentially some bringing back some old units. So to start off with, we have the infantry platoon, so bringing that back. So basically up until 7th edition, we had an infantry platoon. I have made this a little bit more minimal than what we previously had, but it will at least allow us to take a lot more guardsmen in a single detachment. So basically the biggest change from 8th to 9th edition is in 8th edition, they wanted you to fill out as many detachments as possible for more CP. So they basically removed the platoon command structure to allow you to do that with guardsmen. So now we're going to consolidate them back into a single data sheet. So that way we can now try and fill up less detachments to get more infantry. So basically an infantry platoon will consist of 1 platoon commander, 2 to 3 infantry squads, 0 to 1 special weapons squad, and 0 to 1 heavy weapons squad. So the platoon commander, 25 points, hasn't changed. Has the voice of command, regiment infantry, and regiment vehicle, Chimera, and Turox. So he can order issuers to those vehicles. May take 0 to 4 bodyguards. Again, similar to Genestealer Cult Familiars. They're 6 points per model, and the bodyguards have the same stat line as guardsmen. So basically, that's your role platoon command squad. The depth of the bodyguard is ignored for morale purposes. Bodyguard's considered to have the character keyword for purposes of shooting attacks. So basically, all the same as the veteran bodyguards we saw and discussed in the company commander, except these guys just have a slightly worse stat line and they're slightly cheaper. For everything else, all the options are the same. So swap their las gun for a shotgun or a las pistol in close combat. Chainsword. And then everything else, Voxcast platoons, they have the platoon standard rather than regiment standard, so slightly worse. Just gives the +1 leadership. Then the Medipack, heavy weapons team, and then swap their las gun for a special weapon. Then there's the infantry squad. So we're going to drop them back down to 50 points because basically what we're doing now is we're taking a platoon commander as tax. So that essentially pays for the cheaper price point of an infantry squad. The sergeant may now replace their las pistol and or chainsword with items from the range weapons or melee weapons list. So if you want to give them a las gun or a shotgun, you can. If you want to give them a hot shot las gun or a hot shot las pistol, you can. Or if you want to give them a power fist, you can. In addition to the weapons a heavy weapon team could normally take, they can now take a heavy flamer, a multi-laser, twin heavy stubber, a multi-melter, and a plasma cannon. So we've just opened up a whole lot of diversity with heavy weapon teams. So at the moment, you don't really want to take a heavy weapon team if you're planning to move the squad forward. But now with the heavy flamer, you do have a heavy weapon team option that can move up with the rest of the squad and still be effective. So that gives them a little bit more variance there. The special weapons squad, they're going to be reduced to 36 points. So 30 points plus 3 sniper rifles, so long lasers with the AP-Neg2. They are also going to be given crack and smoke grenades. So if they want to, say, for example, use grenaders, they can. So they've got 6 crack grenades they could throw. Or one of the guardsmen that only has a las gun could nominate to throw a crack grenade. Smoke grenades, just, they get a pay 1 CP, neg 1 to hit. Just shows that these guys are specialists and thus have specialist items. They may take demo charges or melter bombs for 5 points. So demo charge is basically just going to be a D6 battle cannon, so a grenade. So strength 8, AP neg 2, 3 damage, D6. So you could throw 1 with that, or if you really wanted to, you can pay 1 CP for grenaders and then throw 6 of them. Or you give them melter bombs, so they can throw a melter bomb at a tank and use the stratagem for that to try and take it out with mortal wounds. This squad can also include up to 4 additional guardsmen at 5 points each. So basically, you can bring them up to a 10-man strength. If you do bring it up to 10 men, then you can also then take 1 additional guardsman with a weapon from the special weapons list. So basically, you can go from 3 special weapons to 4 special weapons if you take 10 models. Any remaining guardsmen that have not been upgraded with a Special weapon can replace their lasgun for a shotgun for free. So basically think of it this way. If you take 3 melter guns, they're all assault weapons. You can then replace their lasguns with shotguns, which are also assault weapons. So if you really wanted to, you could then advance and then fire everything still. One guardsman that has not taken a special weapon may be upgraded for Voxcaster. So special weapon squads, very cheap in terms of power level. So I believe they're 1 or 2 power levels. So you could take 3 squads, put them in strategic reserves for 1 CP, and then bring them off on the other side of the field. So if you take a Voxcaster, now you can suddenly give them orders from your backline because Voxcaster is infinite range now. So much more utility there, much more options as well. Then we move on to the heavy weapon squad. So still 50 points, hasn't changed. So again, they can now take a heavy flamer, a multi-laser, a twin heavy stubber, a multi-melter, and plasma cannon in addition to what they previously had. The other thing we're going to do is give them an ability called Dig In. So if this unit does not move in the movement phase, it receives +1 to its save characteristic. So that basically tries to alleviate the problem of a wet tissue, like anything just like a stiff breeze killing them. So that means they'll have a 4+ save in the open or a 3+ save in cover. So basically it should make them a little bit more durable. We also give them smoke grenades to make sure that they have a, pay 1 CP, neg 1 to hit. So try and make them a bit more durable, a bit more resistant to damage. So they're actually worth taking anything other than, mortars, of course. Then we go to conscripts. So the only change to conscripts I believe we should make is giving it a bit of a buff to raw recruits. So we change the pass condition on that to a 2+, or if a commissar issues the order, then it's automatically passed. So basically it's kind of more of like a fax. If you give the commissar an ability that has allows them to issue an order. If they specifically issue an order to conscripts, it's just pass. They don't make a dice roll because, maybe they're scared of commissars. Death Corps Cree Grenader Squad. So we're just going to rename that to Grenaders. So basically we're bringing back the old school Grenaders that you could previously get in the 3.5 Codex. So those guys were basically stormtroopers, same equipment, same stat lines, but without a lot of the abilities. So 45 points for 5 guys, 9 points a model, can take up to 10 models. The weapon skill is 4+, not 3+, because for some reason the weapon skill for Death Corps Grenaders was 3+, which made them better than Scions. I think that was a holdover of when Death Corps Creed had their own codex. The Grenadier Sergeant may replace their hot shot las pistol and or chainsword with items from the ranged weapons and melee weapons list. So if they wanted to say take a bolter or a bolt pistol, they can. Power sword, power fist, they can. One Grenadier may take a Voxcaster. One Grenadier may replace their hot shot lasgun with an item from the special weapons list. If the squad numbers 10 models, then a second Grenadier may also take a special weapon. So basically they get twice the amount of special weapons as guardsmen, but not as many as Scions. So basically what the trade-off here is that they have the regiment keyword, thus they benefit from regiment traits inside the same detachment as Astra Militarum, but they don't have as many special weapons and they don't have aerial drop like Scions do. So same points cost, same stat line. They have better, they match better with the detachment they're in, but they're not as good. And they can't take any heavy weapon teams because they're more of like your elite, stormtroopers for generic troops. Veteran squads, we're going to make them troops again. They're going to pay us 70 points for the 10-man squad, so a slight increase of points. But that's a tax for being, one, not having to take a platoon commander and becoming troops again. So they get OBSEC. So you pay 5 points for 10 guys extra for those 2 buffs. In addition, veteran heavy weapon teams can take heavy flamers, multi-lasers, twin heavy stubbers, multi-melters, and plasma cannons, in addition to the weapons they can already take. Heavy flamer is of course being removed, and the veteran sergeant may swap their las pistol or chainsword with items from the ranged weapon or melee weapon lists, or end melee weapon lists. Then there's the Militarum Tempestus Scions. So they're going to only be troops in a Militarum Tempestus detachment only. So if you're going to say play Land Down Lions, then their troops in that detachment. But if you're going to play an Astra Militarum detachment, say Cadians, for example, they will be elites only. So still 45 points, 9 points for every additional model. Their Tempestor can swap their Hotshot las pistol and or chainsword with items from the ranged weapon and the melee weapon lists. So again, if you want to give them a bolt pistol or a bolter for free, or swap that Hotshot las pistol for a Hotshot las gun, you can. Give them a power sword, power fist, can do that. They have smoke grenades, and they may take melter bombs for 5 points. So just a flat 5-point cost for that. And then that's it for the troop choices. So again, let me know if you have any comments or criticisms about what I'm trying to do here. Let me know if you have any more ideas or if you agree with me. And no, thanks for listening.